In order to fully maximize the journey of life, we need to make sure we are creating happiness and fulfillment in our life. Where does that come from? How do you get happy? Well, first of all, everybody's level of happiness and what it takes to make somebody happy is different. And again, we need to architect that. It's our job to build happiness in our life. We have to be proactive, intentional about this if we want to get even better. Reminder, you are the captain, not the passenger. You don't sit back and let life dictate where you're going. Inside the huddle, great quality of life, great leaders, staying on our A game. We architect that. So what do we want to do? We want to architect a highway to happiness. Let me explain what that means. Highway to happiness. On the flip side, so many people have a dirt road for happiness. There's divots, there's bumps, there's cracks, hills, or maybe even walls for some people. You ever met somebody out there that's just, they walk into a room and it just gets darker? Those are the people that have the walls up to happiness. It takes so much force and magic things to line up for them to be a little happy, for them to smile a little bit. So many people have that. And they have a highway, a freeway, cars buzzing by, to a place of pissed off. That you do one thing or one thing goes off or the weather, anything happens in their life, bang, they're not smiling and they come in making the room even darker. So many people live there. I've lived there before. So at moments in my life, what do I want to do? I want to not only for you to, but remind myself to make sure those are flipped and I make sure I have the highway to happiness and a dirt road and walls up to getting frustrated, to getting annoyed, pissed off, all the other words you want to use. You want to make sure that it's more difficult to travel down that road far and easier to travel down the road of happiness. But how do we do that? You guessed it. We architect that in our own lives. And I want to give you a little performance practice here that is easy for you continue to have a way to happiness. And the first thing is you want to look at your morning routine. You call that beginning and bookend of your day, that first hour and that hour of your day. And you can write that in your journal, AM for your notes. And I want you to think about as you, in your block time after this, all the things in your morning routine that if you have those in there, that you've had a great morning, that you've set yourself up to win, that there's some happiness in there. It's just a great start to your day. I want you to add a list there. And on the night routine, at the end of the day, I want a list of the same. Do things that'll make you smile, things that great reflection. Maybe in the morning you have your gratitude time, your meditation, whatever that is, write that in there. And I want after that list, after you've got those lists done of like 3, 4, 5 things, whatever you want, how long your routine is, could be 20 minutes, an minutes, whatever it is. I also want you on the other end of that to write down all the things in your morning that you need. And at night, all the things you need to get rid of, to stop. Maybe you need to shut it off. Maybe you need to not go for that extra indulgence. Whatever it is that you need to stop to make sure, beginning of the day, make sure you do that. Easier way to open that door to easier highways to happiness. Because, I know a lot of people say, that sounds basic, David. That doesn't sound like a peak performance. Well, guess what? One of my jobs is to make sure, and one of your jobs is to make sure that we're doing the things we know we'll be doing. Because so many times we just forget or we're serious enough. I said in the beginning, so many people don't take personal development serious. That's why they're living small, playing small, not honoring the deliberate design of their creator. We want to have those check-ins to make sure we're not doing that. So make sure in your block time, doing the homework, because that's where the math happens, as we know. I'm going to be doing the same thing I'm sharing with. I practice. Everything I'm teaching you, I practice. I have journals. I know my numbers. I understand this, and I want to make sure that I'm passing that to you, everybody here, and ultimately to make more of a lifestyle, to make this what I call a championship life. When you have these going in your rhythm, you already know you're on your A game. So if I jump through the camera in your office, in your home, wherever you're at, and I sat down with you and said, hey, what are your numbers? How clear are you? What are you doing in the beginning and the end of the day? What's the list and how does it equal to what you're at? Because if that's way off, then that gives me a clue and a sign that there's a lot of work done behind the scenes in order for you to get to the best level. Because not only for ourselves, we don't want to do this, but we want to do this for all those who we are going to represent one day, and all the people that are counting us to stay in our A game, all the people looking up to us. So we need to create a highway of happiness. One of the things that throws so many people off, that sucks energy out of the building, is this thing called stress, overwhelm. Something happens to you, comes in your life, you weren't prepared for it. It's inevitable, right? Nobody's untouched by this, but guess what? We are in control of how much that's going to affect us, our well-being in our day. So one of the practices is but build a routine into your day somewhere, whether that's the beginning, middle, end, maybe all three. However much crap is coming at you in your life, that's how many you need to set up. But I want you to have at least two at the beginning and end of the day. And I want you to do it whether you're feeling overwhelmed, stressed, or not. Because when you build in that practice, not only does it help you when that's coming into your life, but it also gives you a great baseline so things aren't building up. Because sometimes those little things just keep adding and adding and adding up to a point where it's overwhelming sometimes to deal with it all. But if we have a calming practice, a centering practice, clarity practice, a happiness practice, whatever that is, we add that into the rhythm of our day, that allows the giants, the monsters in our life to become too big. One of my mentors always used to say, kill the small, not wait till it gets too big. We've all been there. We get to a boiling point, things get over. And stress, overwhelm, that creates some of the worst emotions in our human experience. We've all been there where we just lose it. We say things we don't really mean. We're just acting out of emotion or not really thinking. And some of the times we hurt the people around us the most, our teams, or even ourselves internally. We hurt ourselves. This calming routine, add into your practice, add into your day, will help you have a great highway to happiness.